Come on.
No.
Focus now.
Medieval.
We are
now.
now live. I've unmuted you guys. So let's do some ruffle.
I'll have to
So-
look at this later.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a couple of weeks. Last we left it, you were on the road. Well, actually, you just arrived at Elson. You have been travelling for a day or so, day and a half, out of Ubersreich down towards the Tower of Vane. On your journey down there, you discovered that just on the outskirts of Treysberg, both the Altdorf army and the
Other people.
yeah,
Ubestrike.
the Jungfreunds.
Yeah.
The Jungfreunds and the Altdorfers were kind of using the village or the town of Treysberg as a neutral ground with armies camped on either side. During your time there, a couple of you had a conversation with somebody called Reichardt Fritz, and you were asked to take a package to a Solomon something or
Grundy.
other.
They're basically committing treason.
None of my... Solomon Alexander.
Alexander, there you go. And yeah, that's exactly what I've written. And the package happens to be a crate containing 6 bombs.
Oh.
Solomon Alexander is apparently a merchant that you can find in Ubersreich. Beyond that, you continue to travel west, passing through Bames, Grunwacht, and getting to Elson, which is where I believe we left it last session.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty decrepit from what I remember, or there was a lack of...
Oh, there was some orc raids going on at the place.
Yeah. Oh no, Michael Gamble's died.
Yes,
Yes,
but you can
Dar.
hear his voice forever if you get Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
Yes. So Elson has been at, or at least one of the places. Maybe not Elson. Maybe Grunwald.
I think we got here, haven't we, son?
Whereabouts are we on the map? Can you show us?
I didn't think we got as far as that. I thought we'd stopped at this village, this town here. Could be wrong though.
It's wherever the orcs were.
He had
You're
said
right
that
about
this village was in a destitute state, but I don't think we'd got that.
Yeah, Grunwald is where it's a depressed community of little more than 200. The town has been built upon countless ruined settlements that have suffered greenskin raids.
Yeah, this is where we were.
That is where you were, yes.
So, is that the one at the base of the tower, the one before it?
The one before it.
We're heading towards the tower, yeah?
Oh, of course, I forget, you can't see the names, so
No,
you are.
can't.
Yeah.
Sadly.
It is. What time is it? It is early afternoon.
Too early for the pub then.
Never too early for the pub.
Do we...
Had we just arrived? Had we done anything at all in town yet?
You haven't really done anything.
Spoken to a few people, but that was about it. Like just random people on the streets.
Can we
Yeah.
get to the next town before nightfall, or is it too far away?
7 miles further up into the foothills and mountains.
A couple of hours then, walking.
But yeah, it's a couple 3 hours.
So it's whether we want to arrive there at late afternoon or not.
Yeah.
I thought the understanding was that the next village along was in even worse condition than our current location.
We might
So-
well consider that the road between the two might not be safe if there are orcs on the road.
There's certainly no or very limited patrols from the local lord, I seem to remember one of them saying.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. We're kind of on our own in the Wild West from here, I think.
Looking around, is there any kind of tavern, pub? I doubt there's an inn.
There would be a tavern. Most places have taverns at least. Certainly, Yeah, this will have a
Well,
tavern.
Wasn't it
We're
somebody
at,
like somebody's front room was a tavern or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I think we should head towards there and at least try and find what we're getting ourselves into in the next place. If we can pick up any rumours or what the current
Yeah.
road is like.
Where
between
are
the two.
we, by the way? Which town?
Grunwald, which is this one.
Okay.
Let's head towards the tavern. I'll head towards the tavern. Always seems
Okay.
like a
Yeah,
Good place
I'll
to go.
follow behind you.
The tavern is very much as you kind of imagine. The tavern is built into the front of somebody's house. A small room converted with 2 or 3 tables. Nothing too extravagant. A human couple in their probably late 30s, early 40s, the best you can tell, serve tables in the bar. There is a couple of tables already taken, and there's probably 2 more free tables. It is fairly quiet at this time. Well, it's fairly quiet for this time of the day, for sure.
any patrons.
Yeah, there's a couple of tables full, mostly a couple of people. There's probably half a dozen people in total in here.
Are they, like farmer types, that kind of thing, or trappers and
They're
hunters,
more,
maybe?
yeah, they're more dressed like trappers.
Salt of the earth.
It's almost this kind of people.
I don't know. Are they on fire?
They're not on fire.
Okay,
Yeah.
not like. All right, do you want me to solve that?
No.
I was going to say, you're supposed to be a trapper, aren't you?
I am a trapper. Yes, I'm actually. I trapped a troll not long ago. Shall I go and talk to them?
Didn't
Yeah,
we
nothing
kill
could
2
possibly
trappers
go
earlier?
wrong.
You might. I had nothing to do with that, mate. I don't know. Sorry, my brain's a little bit jangled tonight. I'm not really sure where I am.
The tavern is called the Whistling Pot. As I say, man and woman, obviously a couple. They keep bickering every now and then as they yell at each other for various bits of food and plates of food and drink and stuff.
Is there somebody tending the bar then?
Yeah, the man.
The man.
The man.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So the couple. Sorry, I thought they were patrons. They manage the pub.
Yes.
Okay, beg your pardon. Tavern. All right. Well, I'll head towards the bar, towards the dude. Is that your wife? She's got a pair of lungs on her, hasn't she?
Aye. That's my wife.
What have you done wrong this time?
He looks at you. What haven't I done right this time? What can I get you?
Well, I think we'll get around first of all of your finest crappy beer,
With your most mediocre beverage.
your finest mediocre beverage that you can rustle up at short notice.
I don't know. I think they specialise in lovely teas called a whistling pot or
Oh,
coffee.
shut up! Shut up! We don't do teas here.
The pistling what?
The Whistling Pot. Beer, you say?
Yeah, go on then. Round a beer. Who's in here with? Is everybody in here?
I think we've all come over because we're probably thinking about stopping around here somewhere tonight.
Mm.
You've almost double the patronage in the tavern.
Excellent.
Oh well, take a table. I'll have Willa bring it over when I've poured it.
Is that your missus?
Aye.
She's not going to pour it over your head first, is she?
No.
So
Oh,
it's gone.
Willa, serve these customers. Kind of
So
flicks a couple of empty tables and pushes them together. You lot, sit here.
I'll nod and go and take a seat.
nothing like a friendly smiley face. How you doing, Willa?
I'll be all right if that lazy husband of mine did more than just stand behind the bar pulling pints.
Oh, it's tough work.
Yeah. Well, let's
So
see
when you're in
about.
town, tell us what's going on at the moment. Seems pretty empty.
Everybody's out panning for gold.
Oh, there's gold in them there hills.
Well, not the hills, more the streams, but people are panning
People have much luck up here.
a little bit.
Doesn't seem like there's a lot of wealth flowing through town these days. Dried up a bit.
Like I said, just a little bit.
A little bit. Oh, I need to blow my nose. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec.
No. She kind of comes over, disappears back off as you all kind of take the seats around the two tables, and she comes back with the 7 pints in her hand, 7 steins, and just slams them down on the table. One of the table rocks a little bit with its unsturdiness, and she just starts sliding the beers across the table at each of you, giving you no choice but to accept a stein.
I am going to do my very best to smile at her and be as pleasant as possible. I had this kind of slightly masochistic desire to try and get what's the word? Grumpy people to smile back at me. Thanks for that.
She sees the smile as she slides the beer over to you, and she kind of frowns a little bit.
I'm going to try a bit of the sign. Is it palatable?
You know, it is definitely not the best beer you've had.
It's quaffing beer, then, isn't it? Really,
It is quaffing beer. It is beer that you would know to drink quickly.
I slipped some beer mats under the table to stop it from rocking.
Okay, there are no beer mats, but absolutely.
And if you're looking for your money, the knightly looking one, Rembrandt, he'll settle up. Oh, fuck, he's just come back.
Rembrandt just shakes his head at her.
So tell us, we're heading off. What direction is that? West from here. What's the road like between here and the next town?
You go west, you say?
Yeah, that's the plan.
It gets colder as you further west you go, up into the mountains. Not a lot happens at Elson, but apart from the greenskins, it's all right.
How often do they come around?
Every few months.
When was the last time?
A couple of weeks ago.
Ah, so chances they won't be back through.
Yeah, raided through the valley down to here.
What do they come for?
What do greenskins come for at the best of times?
Well, my guess would be to see your happy, smiling face and a nice pint of beer in your tavern.
Well, you're guessing wrong, aren't you?
Oh, it's worth a shot.
They just come looking for food and trouble and people, slaves, that kind of thing.
Did you manage to defend the town?
Well, Bella's going to say, why do you stay here then?
Well, it's home, isn't it?
True, but if it's always being raided, they might as well move somewhere else.
How many come through here then when they're raiding? Big groups?
Depends. Sometimes half a dozen, sometimes a dozen, sometimes 2 dozen. Last lot that came through here, 10-ish. We got 3 of them before they left. So they got 3 of us as well.
Have you thought about building defences?
Where are we going to get money from to build defences?
Oh, who's the local lord?
Yeah, his lordship, eh? His lordship doesn't care about us. Too much like hard work keeping the roads safe, and so he just lets them get on with it. Sends a patrol through maybe once every week, 10-day. Not much more than that.
And he doesn't live in town, I guess.
No, of course he doesn't.
Where does he live?
Oh, that's a good question.
Just wondering if we could pay him a visit on the way back from the Penis Tower and see if we could convince him to be a little more generous with his protective what's-its.
If he might part with a few coins, we could maybe investigate for him.
Yeah, but I'm not taking on 24 orcs.
Let's have a
Couldn't
look.
talk
I don't
my
know.
way
I
out
thought
of
they.
that.
I don't know. I thought they were your type.
Give me a sec. I'm just having a look.
Let's try not to reply to that one,
So it falls under. Oh no, it doesn't. It falls. Oh, that's your problem.
That's the problem.
So it falls under the County of Widows Vale.
Huh?
Now, let me see if I can tell you who is responsible.
It's probably his castle here.
You said you're responsible.
It's on page 515.
Oh, well, actually, according to this, Grunvach is in a fortified position. So Grunvach is. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, the local lord, Count Palatine Gregor Faust, and he lives in Hovach Tower.
Was that
That's
that?
what I was wondering, yeah.
That
Where's
is going to be
that?
that there, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we could go downstream there afterwards.
Gonna
if
be
there's a
where?
boat.
There,
Nothing.
yeah.
It's in the swamps, isn't it?
Looks like it.
That's just
So
on the outside.
any tips on heading west, apart from stick your woolly knickers on and take some food with us and watch out for greenskins? Heard rumours there's some kind of wizardy type lives in a big penis tower out there.
Well, all right, there's a wizard's tower out west, Tower of the Vale. You heading that way?
Maybe.
Like I said, maybe the odd greenskin if you're unfortunate. It'll be cold the further west you go up into the mountains, and then not sure what you'll find at the tower.
Oh.
I've heard the wizards there don't particularly like strangers turning up.
Did you just say wizards plural?
Plural, exactly, Maddie.
Oh well, it's a wizard's tower. There's not just one that lives there. There's 2 or 3.
Oh.
You know anything about them? Never make their way down here.
They're wizards. They never make their way down here. Probably got some fancy-smancy magic way of getting to Ubersreich. They don't need to walk down here for sure. I did hear that there was a woman that would that passes through every so often with a cart with deliveries for her, for the wizards, but...
Oh, I think I know her.
Oh, you do? Nice lass.
Hesk.
She got glass eye, hasn't she?
No, she makes glass. Hesk Glazer.
Yeah, I don't know her name. I just know she passes through. Doesn't usually stop here. Tries to make it all the way in a day.
Maybe we should do the same then.
Well, finish your beer and be off with you then.
Right, Rembrandt, don't forget to pay up.
Wait, hang on. Wait a minute. We just got here. Have we got enough time to get
Yes.
to the other one without nightfall?
Yeah.
Yep. I asked that earlier on.
I'll just take a visit to the Jakes before we go, because nothing worse than getting halfway there and need to go.
We still got the other town to get to first.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll get that far and then see how we're doing. Anybody else from this town head up into to the Wizard's Tower for taking supplies or anything?
No, just the cart that comes through on a regular basis.
Anybody else around town who could give us any more information, you reckon?
He shrugged. Maybe. Don't know.
I reckon we head off. What do you reckon, folks?
Yeah.
I think you've got a good idea there. I'm going to put my warm clothing on as well.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Oh, we're already wearing that.
Yeah, that's what I thought, to be honest. 'Cause we're already up here, aren't we? We're in the mountains already.
I mean, there's no point going home now, right?
'Cause, I mean, you start going to the mountains when you get to this place, wherever that is.
I hope we're not going that way because we're going this way.
Yep. Oh, I'd say we head out. Let's finish up the beer. Rembrandt pays and we all leave.
Okay. I'm ready to go. I'm heading off now. We're heading off now.
Okay.
We've
Pay
left.
up, and you've left. All right.
Thanks, Rembrandt.
Yeah, thanks, Rembrandt.
The journey westwards takes you further up into the hills, the foothills, and then the mountains themselves. Roads now covered in dustings of snow, and the temperature dropping rapidly, forcing you to pull out your winter cold clothing that you bought in Ubersreich to keep yourselves warm. As you head westwards, you eventually crest a small hill, and down below you, a couple of 100 feet or so, in a small isolated valley between two spurs of a river, you can see Elson. Cramped in a valley to the south. So you can see the meeting point of two tributaries of the Teufel. The Fest, cramped in a valley to the south, and the Taumeln, which tumbles from nearby falls. On the far bank of the confluence rests a tiny hamlet tucked into and around the crags of the climbing foothills. Above and behind the hamlet, about 3 or so miles away, rises the thin needle point of the Tower of Vane, as the mountainside rapidly rises up into the sky. As you begin your journey down to the hamlet, the folks on your side begin to scramble and arm themselves, only to relax slightly once they get a better look at you.
We're harmless.
We're not green.
You're not green.
Is this a walled city or walled town?
It is a hamlet. It does not have a wall.
Right. Okay.
No, looking at it, it's got the river either side with bridges, so it's defensible to a certain extent, I guess.
And the mountains behind.
Yes. The natural defence is, and certainly the headwaters of both of the rivers seem to go up into the mountains. So it is very much defensible in the sense that you will have to cross an ice cold, quite quick running river tributary.
Yeah, rather not do that.
As you as you kind of come down the hill and get closer to the river itself, you can see that on your side of the river, a small sort of flat barge is moored up with a woman, a youngish woman, kind of sat just on the bank, kind of cleaning her nails with a knife, just looking up at you as you approach.
Is she a witch?
By her clothing, you would take her for a river warden.
Definitely.
Or a river woman. Well, a river woman, maybe somebody wanting to become a river warden.
Okay.
Usually
She's not-
youngish woman, dark hair, kind of fastened up in quite a tight bun, a small kind of jaunty three-pointed sort of tricorn hat with a deep red feather in it. She probably carries a billy club, and to one side kind of a boat hook resting nearby, and she kind of looks. You open to cross the river?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to get across and then across again to get to the tower.
I miss. I can't believe you're doing this out here. Don't you have any bother from them greenskins?
Well, no. They haven't chased me off yet, though they've tried. They don't bother me.
Well,
Besides,
good for you.
I can get this across the river quicker than they can come down out of the hills and attack. So usually that sorts the problem out.
I thought all the boats were meant to be off the water at the moment.
No, we've got to keep trade flowing, what little comes through. So, you wanting to go into Elson then?
Yeah, if you don't mind. You've got no objections.
I've got no objections. What have you got to trade?
We're passing through more than trading.
And she looks at you and smiles. Not how this here crossing works, I'm afraid.
Oh.
You trade something with me and I take you across.
We got
Shame we haven't
coin.
got the D&D party because we've got about 15 bows, 54 suits of armour.
Yeah.
We got coin.
Oh.
We got that knight over there. He's got plenty of money.
What's with the bridge? Why can't we cross across the bridge?
There isn't a bridge.
On the map, there's a road going straight across it.
Yeah, it's not a
There
bridge.
isn't.
It's a ferry bridge,
It's a ferry crossing.
I guess.
Okay.
How much is it, miss, to go across?
Like I said, don't deal in coin. Got no use for coin here. Trade.
Oh.
Mehdi, you're not playing your net runner.
You must have something that you can trade.
Not sure I do. We weren't coming.
If this was Baldur's Gate, we'd have loads to trade.
But yeah,
Thank God, nothing. I'm going to look a little bit shifty as well about the whole thing. I've clearly only got two large boxes in my pockets. She hasn't spotted them, right?
I've got this armband. It's what the guards use in Ubersreich.
kind of looks at it, wrinkles a nose. Don't get to Uber's right much. Not sure it would be that much value to me.
It'd get you into interesting places.
Yeah.
And I'll say this quietly just to Thomas. Thomas, we could offer to trade our life for a crossing.
No. Don't be ridiculous.
I'm going to intimidate her.
Okay, go for an intimidation roll.
I like the way you say that, Dart. Ella is going to intimidate her.
I bet she gets across the river faster, though.
It's so long since I've played now. So was it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
3.
We haven't played the last 2 weeks.
Oh, it's down. Where is it?
Everyone's challenging.
Challenging.
Maybe I should put my witch hunter hat on and see if that adds him a bonus.
Yeah.
She mirrors your body language right to the point that she gets as close as she can to your face as you're trying to get into her face. And she simply just pokes you 3 times in the chest and just laughs at you.
Aww.
Listen, love, that might work in a big city with some fancy smancy woman or man who's not seen the things that I've seen. If I can stand here and fight off a horde of greenskins, I can fight you off.
I thought
Yeah,
you
Thomas, what
flee over
about
the
that funny
river.
green glowy thing?
Can you read it all?
Can she read? That's a good question.
Why are you asking that?
Because I'm going to point out the letter that who's hired us here. Be on their good terms.
Never
Alright.
found a need for reading. All my letters, not while I've been here. Again, maybe if I was in Ubersreich, maybe I would, but don't need it here.
Excuse me, miss.
Does the letter have a seal?
Yeah, I was going to say we've been hired to go to that tower. This letter tells so, but since you can't read,
You can recognise the mark of the important person whose name I've temporarily forgotten.
Manuel Nacht.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we've been. If we roll this back a little bit, madam, I'm really sorry if everyone's got a little bit excited here, but Emmanuel Nacht, who is not a real peasant, has tasked us with an important quest to get over there. Now it seems like the easy way to do it would be with your assistance. Now, if you can't help, that's fine. Just let us know, and we'll, work it out. But I'm sure we can come to an agreement here, right? What do you need?
You're welcome to swim.
No, that's not what I asked for.
I'm
Well-
gonna say I got something she can have if she wants. I've got a candle and some matches.
What do you need, lady? Because we are.
Have you ever dreamt of, I don't know, maybe having a nice candlelit dinner with a knightly type? We could offer you that for a night. All expenses paid, of course.
It's just
Pimp out my night.
Is Rembrandt here or not?
No, he's not.
No.
No,
Great.
he's here. He's just not saying anything.
What a shame.
Oh dear.
She looks at your candle. Candle and matches or candles and matches?
Well, I've only got 4. All right, give us 2 candles and 4 matches.
Candles are useful to keep the boat alight. Alight. Lit.
Right? You want to burn it down?
How
When
many
it's
people?
dark.
How many people tall wide is the
Well-
boat?
It's wide enough. It would be wide enough for a cart with, or a coach with probably a draft of 2 horses maximum.
Why does this remind me of that game
If-
where you have
if-
to get 3 things across the river and you can't have the
If
something
3
wrong with
more
it.
of us
Yeah.
give her candles, then she can have 4 candles.
I've got 4 candles.
Yeah.
Wait, so you got a handle for a fork, or you've got
No,
4
I've got
candles?
4. I got 4 candles.
That's what I asked.
Has anybody got a jug?
A jug?
Yeah.
No. Why?
And a
Bella's
drug.
got a couple of them.
A drug. Oh, a jug.
Yeah.
Drug. Right.
And a pill in the till. She goes, "Oh, okay." She looks at Ella. Well, lass, now you're being a bit more reasonable. I could use some candles, but 4's not enough. I could probably do with a dozen. Tell you what, if you can all give me if you can come up with a dozen candles between you all, I'll happily take you across.
Known we'd have to trade to get across. We might have actually bought some, but we didn't bring anything for trading.
Rembrandt has his.
Fine horse you've got there.
Yes, I do.
So this is the chap we were telling you about.
Yeah, that's the guy you're going to have the date with.
Oh, I have to say he's not unsightly.
He's not. He could show you a great time tonight.
What am I looking at?
A young river.
A young river woman.
Who won't let us pay to? We need to cross the river on her ferry. She won't let us pay for it. We have to trade. So a date with you for the night has been put on the table.
By Kay. Just so you know who's.
There's a young river woman with a ferry.
Yes.
I say we just get on the ferry and go across.
Yeah, let's get on the ferry.
I'm just going to say, well, you can either be paid or you can take us for free. It's up to you.
I've already tried intimidating. It didn't work.
It's not a case of intimidating. We will just literally pick her up, get on the ferry, and go across.
At that point, she steps onto the ferry, reaches down, pulls out a crossbow, pointed at you. Now, my ferry, my rules, your choice. It'll be considered theft if you cross this river without me on it.
Be a shame if you fell in on the way over there.
I can swim, can you?
Not with a bolt in your ass.
I'll tell you what, how about this sling that I've got?
Everybody give me intuition tests.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, how the hell do you do those things?
Be a skill that you have.
What kind?
Challenging.
What's intuition? I can't remember.
Oh, I see.
It's just a skill on its own.
Yeah, they're always challenging, aren't they?
It's challenging, yeah?
Always challenging.
Oh, there's a bunch of no's, folks.
Well, we've got a lot of zeros.
Anybody want to spend a point to hike it up?
There we go. Get
Oh.
something.
I was going to say we've got a few of us that have failed by one.
Yeah.
Right,
I
I've
know.
got +2. with
You and me
mine.
got exactly the same.
Falkland
Mine
being
is 7.
about as useful as a rushing
it?
river once again.
Was this
Okay.
challenging? Sorry, because you probably need to take a 20 off that or whatever it is.
So, Kay, Thomas, the two of you, she's clearly not intimidated by your threats, period. By her body language, she's absolutely prepared to defend her livelihood with her life. There will be complications if you do that, even though you're way outside of Ubersreich. She is asking you for a fair trade. She's clearly not interested in money, but things that can help her do her job.
Why are we kicking off with the river warden?
But
And
No, it's the blooming night that did all the provoking.
you
Very
would
weird.
be. The other thing is there are several people across the river
Oh, of
who
course.
are watching the altercation.
Oh,
Oh,
give it
can
a
you
thought.
knock what's his face down and give his horse away, please?
the problem is she's not giving us a fair trade because we've told her we're not traders, so we have nothing to trade. She
We
knows
do,
that.
we have candles.
And you've got 4 candles, so
Yeah,
she's
but-
demanded 3 times the
Yes,
amounts
but
that you've
you
got.
guys must have some candles.
Why the hell would we have candles?
I've got all kinds of crap in my rucksack. Hold on.
It was part of our basic trapping, wasn't it,
Don't you have a lantern or something? Or
No.
I've got 2
By the way,
candles.
how are you going to get the horse across if it's just a
It
boat?
fits on the boat.
I
It fits on the
am
boat.
going to
Oh, yes, right. You said that, didn't you?
wander over to the lady and ask her if she wants to see something cool.
Oh, God, Thomas.
No.
Oh, no.
If you do what you think you do, you might be in the river in a minute.
No. Because, I mentioned earlier, and I think we're being reasonable here. I'm going to put my best small man voice on. We have been tasked to get over there to sort that tower out. We have been given this letter of marque, which, is quite reasonable. And we've also been given this. And I'm pretty sure you don't want anything to do with this, right? I'm going to sort of wave one of the grenades at her. Or not wave, just kind of let her see what the grenades that we're carrying.
Can anybody
hang
else in the party
We have
see?
Wait a minute.
told
Time out.
I don't know.
to go. No, you can't see
Doing
this.
it. He's
You
doing
can't
it.
What grenades have we got?
We have been told to go over there with these and deal with this. Now, I don't want to get in your way and you don't want to get in our way, but I'm pretty confident most people around this area do not want us anywhere near them. Or we could just hang around.
I'm going to lean over to Rembrandt and ask,
I'm very
what's that thing
confused
Thomas
right
has
now.
got in his hand?
I'm right up next to Thomas, trying to block view as much as possible.
Nobody can see a thing. As
It
you can
looks
see from
like
our friends here,
a bomb.
they don't even want to be here. So how about we cross the river pretty quickly and
Recognise it.
Take your 6 candles and
can
let
I-
us cross.
I need to
I
ask a
was gonna
question
say,
out of
no,
character.
no need to get aggressive. No need to get aggressive.
What
I'm here to
candles?
just-
I mean, not candles. What grenades are we talking about?
You don't know.
You don't know.
You
There
Nobody
don't
aren't
knows
know.
any.
anything.
You know
Nobody's seen
nothing.
anything. Nobody's heard anything.
We
These
don't
are
know
what
these
we're
yet.
looking
But we're all
I'm
gathered.
assuming
watching this
I'm
going on.
recognising the one that Thomas has in his hand.
I'd taken her to one side and was just kind of subtly showing her this.
Yeah,
we
but
talking
we're
about
still
the
watching you, so
Warpstone?
can we see them?
Yeah, you wouldn't if you're watching me, but you trust me.
He's trying to block the view from you lot as much as possible. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
right up next to him.
dude, you got this in a big crate, right?
No. I'd taken one out and put it in my pocket. No, I'm kidding.
I just thought you were happy to see me.
I am happy to see
Oh,
you.
I thought you were talking about the Warpstone.
No,
Oh,
that's in his other pocket.
She looks at what you've got. She looks at what you've got in your hand, and you immediately see sort of a rakish, impish grin come across her face.
you can go fishing with them.
Exactly.
Not
No,
in any
you
way,
can't.
Thomas.
She lowers her crossbow down from being like almost pointed, like a couple of inches from your chest. She kind of lowers it down and flicks the safety back on it. Could be quite useful. Yeah, I'll take one of them, and you can have free passage as much as you want.
We'll be coming back this way and we'll talk then. But we are on. What's the name? It's not guard. We're on army business and we've got army business to take care of.
Well,
I'm sorry, man. I'd love to give them away. They're pretty cool, right? But the people behind me, they don't even know this is going on. We are on a mission for the king.
I'm on a mission from God.
well, you're not on a mission from the king because there isn't a king; it's the emperor.
All right.
I was like,
We're on a mission. We're just on a mission, okay? Like we're trying. We're really trying. We'll give you the candles.
She steps back again, brings the crossbow back up. Oh, you were doing so well.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, give her the 12 candles and let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
You just
Who's
said we
got
don't
12
have
candles?
What?
We don't have 12 candles. That's
We
what
might
I'm saying.
Robin and I've
Everybody,
got 6. Who else has got candles in their
everybody
backpack?
check. I've got 2 in my backpack.
I
in
thought
my
you said
trappings. Well, sorry, I meant 4.
4. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're not something that I have. I've got tinder box, but I haven't got candles.
I haven't got candles.
What's the point of having
I set people on fire if I want light.
Rembrandt? Right. You got a horse?
Yeah, trade the horse.
Yeah, does the horse have candles?
well, if you guys want to give me, I don't know, about 800 gold crowns, then sure.
Knock him out.
Does she want my hood?
Knock who out? Rembrandt.
Rembrandt.
I've got a hood that I
Just
can
give
give
me
her.
defeated
a
by a
group.
fairy lady.
Beaten by a fairy lady.
It's game over, guys.
love
Might as well
it.
go back.
Wait, what had to happen?
Grumpy over there won't give us the horse, so we're going to have to go the long way around.
You've not been here before, have you, ladies and gentlemen?
Obviously.
Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
You see, we folk of Elson, we don't really take stock in Empire coin. We're more simple folk. Fair trade for fair work.
I know. So I've got a club.
Well, given you've got some customers other side of the lake, I don't think it's very much you need paying for, since you're going to be heading that way anyway.
Would she like a club?
That's a good idea. Should we just wait?
No, because she's they're just watching us across the way.
Yeah, but let's see who gets bored first. I mean, we can just get bored at the time.
How about if you take us across, we get something from the village that you need, and or we do some work
How
for
about you
them?
listen to me and just say, "Would you like this club? It's been used. Sorry about the blood and a bit of skull on it, but
I got a dagger I can chuck in.
Well, I've got a
nice,
sling I
sorry.
don't use.
I've got a very you've got a very, very important sling that's very dear to you.
So actually, she will look at the sling and nod.
Do you want the bullets to go with it?
She nods.
There we go. So she's got a sling and 11 lead bullets.
That's got to be worth something, isn't it?
4 candles. One for each corner of my boat.
She wants the candles as well as the sling.
Yeah.
4 candles.
Bit greedy.
We've done
Yeah.
that, Dave.
No.
Sure, okay. Here's a fork with four candles.
Is a fork with a handle?
Yeah, here's a fork with
4 candles with handles.
Okay, 4 candles, a sling, bullets. We're off. Go.
Somebody owes me 4 candles now.
You can have one
Steps
line.
to one side, puts the crossbow down, and very exaggeratingly waves you onto her barge. Goes to the side of her barge, and then you see as she reaches down and she picks up a thick rope just from out of the water, and then she starts to pull it.
Okay.
Wait, hang on a
She's
minute. What's
well
going on
hard.
here?
And she kind of pulls you across to the
Does she
other
need a
side.
hand pulling it?
She won't say no if you want to help her, but
Give her a hand.
Yeah.
she doesn't need it. Obviously, if you give her a hand, you go a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And she kind of whistles. The river, it's not too wide. It's probably 20, 30 yards wide. It's incredibly fast. And those of you who do grab the rope, the water is ice cold. And you imagine that had you fallen in there, especially if you were wearing heavier armor and got pulled underwater, your chances of survival would be quite limited. And she's whistling as she's pulling. And she kind of gets to the side, brings the barge up. She nods at Rembrandt. Thanks for your help. Now look, as I said, coin isn't going to get you far here. It might get you a day. Any longer than that, people will expect trade. If you're going to come through here in future, blankets, traps, tents, ironware, cookware, dry wood, all good things to trade.
So we're going to have more of that when we want to go over to the Wizard's Tower.
Is there a bridge leading the other's way?
It's a sister.
It is a small bridge over the other side. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
What I say small, it's wide enough for a wagon, but it's a bridge the other side.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'll be here when you want to go back. Happy to take you back. I think fair price, fair trade. Just next time, less aggressive, more trading.
Oh, stick it in your ass. I'm assuming we're off the
Sorry about that, miss. My friends can be a little bit uppity sometimes.
He looks at Kay for a second and smiles.
That might be the way we trade our way back across then.
He looks at Ella's club and has a second smile.
We probably want to polish that up first. Splinter's not so great.
And you see a couple of people come up to the thing, probably a goat herder or something with a few goats, and you can see he hands over a small wrapped package. And as you kind of walk past, you get this smell of freshly cooked bread and stew. And she nods at him and smiles at you.
All right, head into town.
All right.
I thought we were in town.
But we just left town.
We're on the river, dude.
Yeah, you've just arrived in Elson now.
I was
Yep.
just
Oh, I
crossing
thought
it.
the. Oh, you have to get across the river to get. Wait,
Yeah, the barge was just to get into town.
Yeah, it was literally crossing that little tributary.
but that means there's another.
No, there's a
passage.
bridge.
There's a bridge.
Well, at the moment.
Does this town look like it's been ravished by greenskins?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Here and there are signs of on the periphery of the hamlet. A number of buildings show signs of burning, roofs missing, part walls missing, scorch marks and things. Definitely looks like it has been.
Sorry, I just want to come back to the point that Maddie might have just said ravished. As opposed to ravished.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't I?
I mean, it may well have been ravished by orcs. You can't tell, can you?
No.
People like buildings a lot.
I was just trying to figure if they found a way over the river, obviously.
Well, if they
The
get
hardy
down to the
greenskins,
side.
they could have swam.
Yeah.
It's sort of 3:00 in the afternoon, and it's another 3 miles up to the tower. Did you want to try and push on today? It is still technically summer, so there will be some light in the sky for a few more hours. But obviously, here in the valley, as soon as the sun disappears, it is going to get dark in the valley quite quickly.
And cold.
And
But
it's
then
already
again, what have we got to trade for a place to stay? Or are we just going to camp up? Because we've got a tent, haven't we?
I
Are any of the buildings particularly abandoned, but
You could have given us a
not terrible
tent, then.
condition?
There are a couple.
I have a tent.
There are a couple on the outskirts that are abandoned, and have enough combination of wall and sea and roof to give you a dryish.
Well, with the tarp I've got in the back,
Yeah, let's just crash out for the night.
Okay.
Eat some rations, and then crack on in the morning.
All right.
What do you mean a tarp in the back? What we've got? I thought we just had a horse, not a cart.
got
In his
saddlebags.
backpack.
It was a figure of speech.
Okay.
Okay. You set camp. You found one of the abandoned houses. You set camp. You're pretty much left to yourselves. A few people between sort of 4:00 and sundown kind of wander by and take a good long look at who you are. Satisfied that you're not greenskins, they kind of nod and just move on. Nobody really bothers you.
I'll take a stab at trying to engage them. I'm just trying to see if I can find out any rumors about what goes on at the tower or what we should expect or anything like that.
Most people, it's very difficult for you to get them to open up. The general sense is that the people of Elson don't really give a damn about whoever lives in the tower, because the people whoever live in the tower don't give a damn about Elson.
But there's no workers that are based down in the hamlet that have to go up to the tower, or
There are
supplies, or
there are workers that go up there occasionally, yes.
I'd love to try and figure out who they are and see if they can. give us
Wizards
some-
have got to eat, right? Surely someone's taking food up there. I imagine a lot of wizards go hunting.
There is trade that happens for sure. All you learn is that the main wizard that gets dealt with, or the tower owner, is a wizard named Sybil Haggadorn.
That's the one we want to see.
That she rarely comes down into Elson. She does have a few workers that live in Elson that go up to her to do menial jobs for her. Cooking, cleaning, etc.
Any builders who know their way around?
There are some builders. Very few of them have been inside the tower. The tower has been stood in its current state for tens to hundreds of years.
So nothing insightful we can get from the populace then.
They'll tell you that it has several. They'll tell you it's about 1,000 feet tall, just over 1,000 feet tall. It has several floors. Most of the wizard's activity takes place on the top floor.
And how many wizards in total? We got Sybil and roughly how many more?
Sometimes 2, but most of the time just 1.
And has anybody turned up with an unfortunate case of having a hole through the middle of them that can't be explained?
Unexplained fires is what we're looking for as well, right?
Just the usual wizardy kind of stuff. The occasional flash, the occasional, boom of thunder, flash of lightning, spark of fire that kind of glows at the top of the tower. Most people just put that down to, wizards doing wizardly things that they don't really understand.
Has anybody seen like a beam of light come shooting across towards Ubersreich? It'll be about a week ago now, I think.
Nobody has seen that, no.
What about the sniper?
They've not. So you get the sense that nobody's seen anything unusual. So whether they've seen a beam of light or not, it is not. Nothing is unusual that they've seen.
Yeah.
Just normal stuff. Most people don't really spend all their time looking up at the top of the tower either, because
too busy living, I suppose.
Too busy living.
It's a weird place to stick a
Do the
tower.
wizards do anything to protect you from the greenskins?
Say that again?
Do the wizards do anything to protect them from the greenskins, from the orcs?
Nothing at all.
Fucking ponces sitting up there in their tower whilst people bleed. You know what we should do? We should go and have a word with them about that.
And, yeah, but your version of a word means killing it.
No, I've not killed anyone yet. I don't think.
Wanted to quite a few times.
Yeah, but I've not actually done it.
Wanted to versus having done it is two different things, yeah.
Yeah. Not in prison, you see.
Oh, look, there's my notes. There's my notes from last session.
When the hell did you get grenades from?
You were there last game, weren't you?
I don't remember.
You must have been asleep or something.
You did. I think you fell asleep.
Oh, I might have been asleep because I was asleep for some of
Dark
that.
kept falling asleep. He did a Medi on us. Medi hasn't fallen asleep for a long time.
No, I'm doing really well, thank you. These drawing pins I put in my shoes really
I
help.
didn't even know you could get grenades in the Warhammer world.
They're not grenades, they're bombs.
We definitely
they're
haven't got any.
bombs. Okay.
So, has anyone got Medi's phone number just in case? Because I seem to remember him falling asleep in the Mithras game or something, and they had to phone him.
I might have it.
The general consensus: the wizards keep themselves. They don't interfere in anything going on in Elson. They do experiments. Occasionally people see experiments, especially the more likely ones that happen at night than happen at day. They've kind of lived with this sort of status quo with the wizards for a long time, and people here just get on with their lives and leave the wizards to it. A few people go up there and do some odd jobs now and then. A few people take food up there. The wizard does get deliveries coming in on a semi-frequent basis. But equally, they've never seen the wizard leave via the road. So if the wizard's ever left her tower, they've never seen it.
Teleporty stuff.
So are lights coming from the tower a usual thing? Because you said that they've not seen
Yeah.
anything unusual. If it's a regular thing, then
It's
they
not
would
unusual.
think that-
Yeah.
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 What sort of character is she? Is she friendly? Is she a bit grumbly sometimes? What's she like?
Got tentacles coming out of her.
Or testicles.
She's
Yeah, I don't want to know about those.
okay. Fairly amenable. Fairly affable. Not quick to anger, which is good for a wizard.
Mm,
Very
I'd
good.
say so.
But that's about it. Like I said, she never comes in. She never socializes in Elson for sure.
I don't suppose she wears purple ribbons either, does she?
No.
It was purple ribbons, wasn't it? Those cult leaders had, or cult people
Oh,
had.
they had purple something.
Yeah.
Give everybody give me. Hang on.
Yeah, this whole village are just all decked out in purple now.
Everybody give me perception checks.
And what check? Sorry.
Perception.
Perception. Challenging as normal, yeah.
Challenging as normal.
Perception.
Oh, balls. It's going to be one of those nights.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Don't forget my eagle eye if it's anything like that.
So,
Ow. Spend a point to make it a success.
Lanwin.
With my supervision.
Lanwin and Elgast. The pair of you, as you are wont to do when you're travelling out in the wilds, you tend to kind of set watches. Elgast and Lanwin, you're on first watch. It's about 10:30 at night. It's dark. It's cold, but the sky is clear. You hear a distant sort of thunder or rumbling sound that just seems to appear suddenly and echo through the valley and then stop. And then the distant sky seems to start to flash with multitude of colour.
Which direction?
The tower.
Greenskins attacking the tower. Oh, I'm not awake, but
No, I don't think so.
Is it? Are the lights in the direction of Ubersreich?
No, the lights are directly to the sort of the northwest of where you are,
Oh.
in the direction of the tower.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rumble then. Sorry, the rumble was.
Was it a boom or just a rumble?
A rumble, like
Avalanche type thing.
yeah, more like rock falling than thunder.
more like 100 orcs running around and then being squashed or killed by flashy light things.
So there's a rumble of thunder in the distance, and then you have the flashy lights in the tower.
Oh. Could it have been like a heavy door opening type of thing? Possibly the door opening and that's what's let the light out?
No, not 3 miles away.
Really heavy door.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
really
a
heavy
thing.
door. Yeah.
Like a observatory type thing, the thing moving to allow the light out. That's what I was thinking, that type of size.
Oh, maybe. That would be more. You wouldn't know what that would sound like, so you don't know.
And we'd know that the rumble came from the tower if that was moving.
It did come from the tower.
Oh, sorry, the rumble came from the tower.
Yeah.
Came from that direction.
Right. And the flashing lights were to the north.
Came from where?
West.
Again, came from the direction of the tower.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry. Sorry. I missed.
Multicoloured.
Yes.
So it sounds like a lot of things that run up to the tower The tower defended itself, or the wizard defended themselves.
Or they've repeated what they did last time where the light came out.
Mm.
And what time is it at the moment, Zed?
At 10:30.
At night.
Yeah.
Did that wake everyone up?
Didn't seem to.
So, what do you think that was?
No idea, but I'm fairly sure magic would have been involved somehow. That many different colours.
Aye. It's a little bit creepy, to say the least.
Do I know anything about magic? Like there's different colours in schools and things.
No, you wouldn't know necessarily about schools of magic, but you would know that magic can often manifest in sound and colour and light.
So I'd guess that she's experimenting with something up there.
You would know. I mean, from your perspective, Elgas, the magic that you've mostly have encountered would be miracles and blessings from the church.
Yeah.
And you know that miracles can manifest in physical manifestations. For instance, Sigmar can cause the blessed who pray to Sigmar their warhammer to ignite in holy fire. You've heard that priests of Sigmar can call down twin-tailed comets from the sky, pulling things out. So
I was thinking possibly know something because I know what to look out for if I'm hunting down witches. I need to know what the signs are as to
which magic would be
whether they can actually use it.
Which magic would be different to wizard's magic, but you would know signs like colour, sound, gesture, tone of voice can all indicate somebody is casting, is interacting with the winds of magic.
Wind of change.
So, from your perspective, flashing lights of different colours could be magic. You just don't know what magic.
I'm just going to continue my watch.
Yeah,
and ponder it.
Find out tomorrow.
Say again, sorry, Chick.
Find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
we can ask if it's a regular occurrence, can't we, and stuff like that.
Probably goes on for another 5 minutes, and then it stops.
I'm back.
Did you freeze?
No, Zen are the worst ISP I have ever used. They did 3 times a day. They just disconnect my router for no apparent reason.
Weird.
More issues with Zen than any other ISP. And you to get fibre to the premises live anytime, they're going to get binned.
The rest of the night will go without any issue. You wake, take breakfast about 7 a.m.
Before I have breakfast, I'm just going to have a quick wander around the hamlet, and if I bump into anybody, I'm just going to ask them if they heard and saw what went on last night, and I'll describe it and try and see if they've heard that before, or if they know what the rumbling might be.
Lights they've seen before, probably the wizard experimenting. The rumbling, maybe an experiment triggered an avalanche in the mountains.
Can we see any change in the mountains behind the tower? Can we see the tower from here? What is it, 3 miles away?
It's about 3 miles away. You can see the tower, yeah.
Okay, and there's nothing that would indicate like a giant weapon has been pointed at mountains.
Yeah.
Here anyway.
Or us.
Or you, yeah.
Yeah, the tower's still there. It's not launched up into space.
Yes.
Wasn't the
It's the right shape to be called Preparation H.
Some massive scorch marks about 10 feet away. Like,
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll come back
Looky.
and get you into the tower.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna complain to Zan
And then you kind of set off westwards, heading across the bridge up towards the Tower of Vane. You wend your way through the mountains along the road that is. It's more of a sort of well, it is a wagon trail, a few wagon ruts in the mud or over stone. Some loose, smaller stones kind of tipped into a few of the wagon ruts to try and avoid wagons getting stuck. But for the most part, it's frozen and appears to be frozen for quite a good part of the year. As you kind of head westwards from Elson, the tower obviously comes into more and more focus, and you start to get a sense of just how big this is. Whilst it's not as tall as many of the peaks around it, it does rise over, well, certainly rises higher than any other building you have seen. Either in Ubersreich, in your own, wherever you were born and raised, and locally.
So it's higher than the tower that the
Correct.
guy was killed in. Okay.
Yeah. It's a great needle of the colour of unpolished iron, practically featureless save for glittering glass dome at its tip, rises out from a sunken valley filled with a glacier. The tower appears to be at first built upon the ice, but it evidently stretches down deep into the cold embrace. By the swaying curve of the surrounding mountains, you can tell that the lake would only see sunlight at the height of noon, regardless of the season. The lake has likely been frozen forever. And that kind of makes you sort of have a moment of awe in consideration for how this tower could have been built. As you get close, there are many windows across the surface of the tower from the ground all the way up. There is a single door at the base. Outside the door stands a lone wagon.
Why have
Around the base of the tower, a large number. Well, actually, let me just step back for a second. The closer to the tower that you get, you realise that nothing stirs in the Forsaken Valley. No birds chirp, no voices sound. Even the wind seems afraid to break the silence. Stepping out onto the glacier, whilst at first a terrifying prospect, becomes not so frightening once you notice small, sharp stones and sand frozen into the top to make a coarse walkway across the ice. But as you get closer, you see the stones are not the only surprises lying in the ice. The base of the tower is littered with a score or more of green-skinned corpses. Some lay burnt to a crisp, while others with their eyes and scalps torn as if from a flock of ravenous birds. A full third appear to have been crushed underneath a massive boulder, which is nowhere to be seen. Whatever caused those deaths was terrible indeed, and relatively recent. The corpses, though rigid and stiff and taking on the kind of the hue of ice, are certainly no more than a day old. Ahead you can see the great smooth metal grey doors of the tower are slightly ajar, and you can hear a faint whistle as if a wind were blowing from within. The air out here is so maddeningly cold that you can't help but shiver to think how freezing it must be within the metal spire. It is only as you approach them do you realise the truth. The doors and the tower itself is entirely made of lead.
Oh.
Lead's quite soft, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dark, can you intimidate lead?
What? Dumbledore.
Does the lead of the tower resemble the lead of the box that had the warp stone in it, out of interest?
Well, yes,
Yeah.
in the sense that they're both lead.
Yeah.
Same
It's
colour.
I wouldn't know what lead is necessarily. I don't know if I know what lead is, so.
Soft metal
It's a
used
shame.
for inexpensive houses for roofing.
It's
And
a
to
shame we don't have
protect
candles. We could
things.
have melted one side of the tower.
And it
Wait
stops
for fishing.
Superman.
There you go.
Stop Superman.
No, it just blocks him being able to see.
Is the tower climbable?
From the outside,
Yeah.
doesn't appear to be, no.
How
It's
about
very cold as
Hello,
well.
there's the door. It's open already.
the door's open?
Yeah,
Yes.
the door's open. You
Oh,
think.
sorry, I missed that bit. I must have stopped paying attention.
Door is open.
I was
I'm gonna-
expecting more. Let's go in. I'm going in.
I'm going to take a look at the corpses. The orcs'
Cool.
corpses.
Okay.
I'm going to wander up to the door and shout through the doorway.
What? Don't do that.
Same.
Why not?
Do
We're not exactly subtle, bro.
What are you
Yeah,
shouting to the
fucking-
doorway?
I'm shouting hello.
Anybody else?
Hello, 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 hello. Okay.
There's a big echo, is there? I'm going
No,
to
that
make
wouldn't
it
be
very.
because it's not an open tower inside.
So it wouldn't echo. Oh.
Not really. I'm just making shit up.
Yeah, good news is very soon we can nick his horse.
Oh, so they're like floors and stairs.
Are you going to stand outside with the horses? Elgast? Not Elgast, the other guy, Rembrandt. Because you always
Tie my
wanted a
horse off
cart.
to the cart.
You always wanted a cart, didn't you?
Not really.
Wait, there's a
No,
car.
I wanted a car.
There's a cart by the side of it.
In from
Right.
York.
Well, we'll be nicking
I'm
that.
going to make it clear that that there's a bunch of us outside, and we would like to come in. And if you want to murder us, can you please do it quickly?
So,
Yeah.
Actually, scratch
Is this-
that.
Did you
The
say
inside
this?
of the tower is hollow. And what you can see is where there is a staircase that rises upwards and kind of runs around the inside of the tower. And every so often it appears to open up onto some kind of landing area.
That was nice. Okay. Did I get any response to my request to murder me quickly if you don't want us to come in?
No, you do not get any response to Murder Hobo.
Good. In we go then.
Did you say that this was standing on ice?
Yes.
How?
Well, ice is probably surrounding it
Well,
rather than it standing
It's
on it.
not standing on ice. As you can look down when you get on the glacier, you can see that the tower continues down into below you.
These
How far
doors.
down
There are
can you
doors. We can go in these
Wait,
rooms.
this
can't
is a
we?
glacier. That means that could once have been here for years.
Correct. So a couple of things inside. The stuff in the middle that you see there is a single bed, but there are also a number of metal plates that seem to have fallen from a great height and fused themselves with the floor of the tower.
This place isn't in great repair, is it, boys and girls?
The insides of the walls themselves emit faint warmth, carved everywhere with incredibly intricate lines, symbols, shapes, patterns, and all manner of arcane designs. Though many, certainly near the door, and sort of the half of the staircase, the ground floor nearest the door, appear to have been defaced.
Who?
Deface
So
like
hang on a
hacks by a weapon or
You said the doors
Painted
were
or-
open.
Yes, slightly.
What's the state of the doors? Are they damaged? Are they just opened? Are they
They're
burned?
They're just open a fraction. They're not damaged.
Could I suggest we go in and then shut the doors?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm going
you
to
can-
shout to Kay first and say, Kay, you coming in?
I'm still out there as well, examining the corpses.
I'm
The
in.
orcs.
Alright.
I want to see what killed them and if there's anything that we can take off them straight back down at the bottom.
The corpses have either been burnt, ripped by something, torn open by some kind of animal, or crushed by something that you can't see.
Okay,
These are green skin corpses, right?
Yes.
No blankets or anything that I could salvage as a trade. Okay.
The crushed ones, everything that's on them has been badly damaged. The burnt ones, everything that's been on them is badly damaged. So the other ones, there are very crude weapons. No, there isn't a bow. Mostly crude melee weapons, sort of notched blades of inferior iron or stone, sharpened stone spearheads and things like that.
Okay. In which case, I shall go in. I'm guessing Kay's waiting to steal Rembrandt's horse.
No, sorry. I think Kay's inside now. It's me. I think because Guy must have had his cursor over you.
No, Kay's still outside.
Oh, is she?
Ella, that's outside.
No, Kay's inside.
Oh, my screen, she's outside. Oh, is that Ella?
Ella.
Oh,
Kay was the second one in,
Hello.
behind Thomas.
Wait, you closed the door. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a question to close the door. Somebody said to close the door afterwards.
I suggested it because the last thing that we need is dickheads behind us. Well, we've got dickheads all around us and in front of us.
so the stairs, do
What's
they
that icon on my
go
character?
down as well?
So it's not no, they don't. So first and foremost, it's not a set of stairs. It's a smooth bone white ramp that curves up along the side of the wall.
Up we go. Well, I'm
Looking the heads downwards.
Zed,
It's
what's
not-
that icon on my character?
There is there is nothing that goes down.
Okay. Everyone's had a good look in the side rooms, have they?
You grab the
One with a bed and most of the rest of it had looked like weird wrecked either cages or bed frames. I'm not sure
Bed
which.
frames was my
Yeah, so there's a bed. There's a bed in here with a bunch of loose papers by the side of it. The rest of them appear to have been some kind of cells or something with metal plates that are badly damaged and broken.
Yeah. Have a look at the papers, see if there's anything readable on them.
What languages do you speak?
Reichspiel, I would guess, and that's probably it.
Then you do not recognize the scratchings and markings on the paper.
Okey-doke. I don't think I've got any other languages. You only start with Reichspiel, don't you?
No, you won't. You don't recognize the languages.
Yeah, that's fine.
And is there only languages and no illustrations or diagrams or
No.
pictures of orcs in compromising positions or
With beards on them. No.
any indication that this was recently occupied, the room?
Hard to tell. The inside temperature of here is cool, but comfortable. So the paper and things are a little stiff, but they're not frozen solid. So it's really hard to tell whether anything was here in the last, hours or few days.
Any bloodstains or anything? If there's been mass murder outside, someone might have survived and got in with those injured.
No, there isn't. No.
Okay. My intention is to get my bow ready with an arrow in it and start moving up the tower.
My intention is to let other people
carefully.
go first.
If you want to be at the back, you say K.
More or less, yeah.
I'll back Thomas up.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, I'll go near the fence as well. Depending on how wide the ramp is.
I think it's one person wide. Okay, up we go. Anybody want to stay at the bottom?
Not particularly.
No, let's all stay
Does
together.
anybody have the second sight talent?
Yes, I think.
I have danger sense, though, if that's useful.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking.
I have acute sense.
No, I ain't got shit.
I need very specifically the second sight skill.
There's some wizardy shit afoot. We would be able to see all the trap glyphs on the floor, right?
Okay.
And all the bags of platinum
Work your
lying around.
way up. The white stone ramp is very smooth. Does appear to have signs of significant use over time. There is obviously a small groove, not quite in the middle, sort of over near the wall, that kind of follows all the way up, as though thousands of people have walked this journey over hundreds or thousands of years. As I say, the walls are all covered in some kind of markings, most probably arcane in nature, certainly arcane in design. As you kind of come up, you've probably gone up about 100, 120 feet. Now, bear in mind, this is hollow. When you look up as far as your vision can take you, it's dark and you won't, you can't see all the way. So there's some light coming in, but it's very hard to make anything out when you kind of look up.
There's no floors or anything. It's just a big spiral,
Yeah.
1,000 feet.
But what you do get to about 100, 150 feet up is it seems to open out into a landing.
Assuming there's no railings on any of this.
There is definitely no railings.
What's a landing? Just a.
It's like a landing.
Being at the top of your stairs.
Oh, that right. Okay.
Yeah.
Stairs continue upwards, and when you look up, you can see just on the edge of the light that you have, but offset to the landing that you're on appears to be another landing. And now you can make out another one, and possibly even a fourth one, sort of 300-400 feet above you.
No sound.
How high is the tower from the outside by our estimation?
Said it was.
Your estimation would be
You said 1,000 feet, didn't you?
Yeah,
at least 1,000 feet.
Okay, so do we do a quick sweep of the floor?
Any sounds coming from above us?
Yell, a shout, a hello, and a perception roll on the floor, and then move up.
Well, hang on. So as you press the first landing, the base, you haven't stepped on it yet. The base is carved into a confusion of thorns, twirling themselves around a central rune line depicting an arrow from a hunter's bow orientated to the northwest. Symbols reminiscent of rending claws and twisted brambles are inlaid with once glorious amber, its colour now dimmed and lifeless. A single altar rests in the centre of the platform. The platform is probably... So what do we talk about in this game? We talk about yards or meters, don't we? It's probably 10 meters square. A single altar rests in the centre of the platform, made of the same bone-white stone as the ramp that led to this strange place. Its surface is lined with carved channels that collect around its base, feeding into the amber set into the platform's top. It sits here, dormant, useless, and lifeless.
Amber. I mean, it sounds cool, but
The ramp continues upwards, the other side of this this landing.
I
There's
think,
nothing
I
else there. It's just
I
a
think I know
statue and
what
some amber, yeah?
I think I know
Yeah.
what that means, but my character wouldn't know.
No sounds coming from up top.
Just the whistle of the wind.
You
Up
said
we
the
go.
arrows up. Does
Pointing
this look like the
northwest.
orcs? Yeah. Does this look like it was painted at the same time as the arcane symbols, or the orcs are painted over it?
No,
They've got it.
this looks like it was painted or created at the same time as the rest of the tower. There are no sign at this point of any defecation of the symbols. No sign of orcs getting this high.
Defecation or desecration?
Desecration.
With orcs, it's probably one and the same.
I was going to say, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think they actually use their inks?
Oh,
Up we go.
So hang on. The arrow pointing to the northwest.
Yes.
What do we know is to the northwest apart from Uber's right, way off in the distance?
It's northeast, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Uber's right,
Well,
northwest.
actually, northwest. Yeah, it's the mountain range and the kingdom beyond.
okay.
It's not Uber's right.
Is there anything inside that it could be pointing to?
Doesn't appear to be.
You're going to step onto the platform then, Ella?
Push.
No, went up the stairs.
Up we go.
I thought
Why,
Thomas
why,
hasn't
why
done.
don't you stealth
Thomas,
and check
I'll
the
step
traps?
I'll step on the platform.
You step out. So who's stepping out on the platform first?
Me.
Thomas, I guess.
No, I'm going up. I shout hello and then we're going up.
Yeah, I'm going onto the platform. I'm taking one
No,
step.
okay, so be clear. You have to step on the platform to continue upwards. You can't
Oh,
walk on the
apologies.
platform.
Sorry. Oh, in that case, yeah. I'm up. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I was in front, I think, so I'm up for. I think I'm first, unless
Yeah.
you're going to push past me. I don't think Elgast is that rude, or didn't want to get that close to me.
Thomas, as you step out onto the platform, for a brief moment, it's as if you're enjoying a hunt.
Yes.
You get that sense of tracking a deer, a magnificent creature of the forest, bearing down on it with your bow in its sight. You loose your arrow and watch with satisfaction as the creature falls. You feel satiated, as though having a beautiful meal that was prepared from carcass to bowl by your own hands. That sense of
Achievement.
accomplishment and achievement and satisfaction. And
Cool.
for a moment, you pause as you stand on that thing, and then you just continue upwards.
I do. I'm not a religious man. Let's go up. Yeah, let's rock.
Yeah, I'm following. Do I get any sense of that, or is it just?
No, just Thomas. And he hasn't mentioned it, so there's no sense of any for any of you, any of the rest of you.
I am going to whisper back to the people behind me. Got a bit of a funny vibe from there. So
You're not
We're climbing a
guys.
1,000-foot tall tower made of lead. I think we're all getting a funny vibe in here.
all right, boss. Sorry, I mentioned it. Let's go, and up we go.
Give me one sec. I just need to do something.
Yeah, we're going to die of lead poisoning.
So you're not describing any of what you had, other than a funny.
Well, I was going to, but then somebody talked over me with a smart comment about a lead tower, so I thought, fuck those people, and I'm going up.
Yeah. Okay. You continue up for another, what you imagine, sort of 150 feet. So what's that? 150 paces, maybe.
Yeah.
Continually upwards and round. You do another sort of circle and a half of the tower. Probably more than that, actually.
Oh, sorry. Is the staircase like all the way around the sides of the tower? Then, not a small spiral.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So
Okay, that makes more sense now. I was trying to.
This was a map that was in a pack of maps. The the maps are all actually incorrect, which is why I'm not using them. I'll use the bottom one for reference and the top one when you get there. But all the intervening suggests that it's individual floors, but actually it's not. It's a hollow tower with these kind of balconies. And it's not stairs either. It's a smooth stone ramp that you're following.
Are we surprisingly able to grip okay? It doesn't feel unnatural for the smoothness.
No, I would say the it's the angle of attack is the wrong word. It's the angle of the climb that allows you to do it quite gracefully.
Okay.
It's not a steep climb; it's a very shallow climb. So although you've gone up 150 feet, you've probably gone round the tower 10 times at a very gradual pace.
So we've walked a mile to get like 150 feet.
What we don't want to do is start rolling down here.
Yeah.
No.
Well, when we get to the top, we can get pillar cases and slide back down.
Thomas, as you approach the second landing, another 150 feet or so up, you can see that this one's base is carved into a sprawling web that peters out in all directions, turning back in on itself at the centre, connected to everything yet standing alone. The incomprehensibly complex network appears to conceal a rune that burns into your mind as you look at it, though as soon as you blink, it fades. A lone arrow points to the south, inlaid with onyx that leeches light from the room. There are several recesses and inserts in the platform that appear to have once held weapons, possibly blades of an incredibly thin make, though don't get excited because they're all empty. Dust now fills the crevices.
I like a good crevice.
Once again, the ramp continues across the other side and continues to rise up.
I'm going to look back towards my party, raise an eyebrow. If nobody immediately stops me, shrug, and just wander across. Arrow nocked, ready to do nothing because the tower is deserted.
No problem. Looking for something. Ella,
Yeah.
did you step out onto the platform? You feel once again as if you're stalking your newest victim in the darkened, shadowed alleyways of Ubersreich. Flitting from shadow to shadow, moving with purpose, blade in hand, you see your mark ahead of you. As you move close, the shadows concealing your every movement, muffling your every footstep. The blade finds that weak spot between the shoulder blades and up to the base of your target's skull. Warmth trickles down your hand. And then you kind of blink and you realise you're on this platform about 300 feet up in the air of this strange tower of Vane.
I didn't know I was an assassin.
You're a criminal.
Yeah, it's true.
See, this is based on class. I'm dual class at the moment. My head's going to explode because I've got to see two different visions at once.
It's really hard. You might not all get a vision. I'll just warn you now, so don't get too excited.
No, that's fine. Carry on.
How many floors are there?
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay.
I don't like the sound of that.
Ooh, perfect.
And up we
Next.
go. Are we going up? We're going up. Let's go.
Yep, we'll carry on.
I think so.
Continuing upwards, another 150 feet, another 10 circles. The tower is starting to thin the higher you go up. The temperature is also decreasing as the magical warmth from the lead walls and the arcane markings struggle to contain the coldness of the outer surfaces of the lead tower. As you arrive at the third landing, the base is carved into an inward, inevitable spiral, drawing the eye always towards its end at the centre. There, at the centre of all things, sits a curling, hooked rune, like a thorn growing from the stem of a rose, pointing to the southwest. The rune kindles slightly as you approach, light playing inside the amethysts that make up its form. But even this ends forgotten to time. Nothing stands on this platform, though several areas of its surface look like a comfortable place to sit, meditate, and ultimately fade away. Elgast, stepping onto the platform, you are transported to your mentor,
Great
to the
crevice.
side of your mentor. In front of you, the screams of the burning witch captivate you. You watch a slight satisfaction on your face as the heat
Stopped for anyone.
as the just
You froze. You froze on the heat.
Yeah, I thought it was me again, but
You froze on heat, it said.
Okay. So you didn't get any of that then?
No, we got some of
I
it.
got you were
Elgast
burning
burning someone.
and a slight smile, and that's as far as I got.
Okay.
That's quite unpleasant.
Let me rewind. Let me see if I can remember what I said. Yeah, so Elgast. So you're taken to the time of your first execution, where you stood by your mentor, a great witch hunter in your eyes, and watched with satisfaction as the witch burnt in the name of Sigmar.
I hate witch hunters.
You smell that scent of burning wood mixed with that slightly bacony smell of cooking flesh.
Oh, tasty.
And then, as Kay brushes past you, you kind of break out of your reverie and realize that you two, 300 or so feet above, 450 feet above ground level, above the floor, in this cold lead tower.
Face of the Witch doesn't resemble Kay by any chance, does it?
No.
That's all right. I'll brush past that. Wakes me out of it. It's like, oh shit.
Continuing upward, the fourth landing space is carved into a wreath of twinning leaves, vines, boughs, water streams, or boughs, should I say, water streams moving in perfect balance around a central rune. Picking out in faded jade are three concentric rings linked by a line that extends from the innermost ring past the third, pointing towards the east. A sense of calmness permeates the platform, and in the cracks between the carvings, the faintest trace of moss grows.
Oh, yes.
Very oddly, a tree stands in the middle of the innermost ring, though long since petrified. Its roots burrow deep into the stone platform, though they no longer draw anything from within, if they ever did. Bear with me a second.
I would like to go investigate the tree,
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Okay.
just because I'm getting bored of walking upstairs, and maybe we could sit down under the tree and have lunch. How long has it taken us to get here so far? It's like
It's
4
something like an
miles.
hour to climb up here.
1 hour. Oh, that's
It's
fine.
taken you, and it's probably taken you. Well, it's 3 miles, so what would that be? Probably an hour and a half. So it's probably close to about 11:30 or so in the morning. It is getting close to lunchtime.
All right, let's go check the tree out. Onto the platform we go. I've only got lobbying, animal care, outdoor survival's not going to help, really, is it?
I'm going to go over and touch the tree, see if it is actually stone or whether it was a real
Lick
tree.
it. Lick it, I dare you. I dare you.
We're in a lead tower. If that's made out of lead, that's not going to do me any good.
Yeah.
Push it off the edge.
Yeah, all right.
See
I
if it
say
bounces.
I push Elgast off the edge, see if he bounces.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's Dart's job, isn't it?
It is. The damage that you would take would be horrendous.
And funny.
And the last thing to go through your mind would probably be your knees.
I am just trying to see if I can match everybody.
I know what we can match. No, let's not go there. Sorry.
The last two are really tricky because I'm kind of just doing it for the sake of doing it. They don't really fit.
Yeah. So mine was an actual memory, was it?
Yes. Triggered by where you were.
Yeah.
I would assume as a trainee, as an initiate of the witch hunters, you would have witnessed and seen more senior witch hunters conducting executions.
Probably my father,
Very probably your father then.
as it's
Why
family
you
witch
how you
hunters.
are.
Langwin, as you step out onto this platform, you're taken. A memory comes to you. The smell of the fresh air. Let me double check that this is actually a place in Ubersreich, because otherwise it's not going to work. Yeah.
What's up with counting on you?
You're taken back to Morgensight, the quarter in Ubersreich that is green and pleasant land. The smells, the warmth of the sun on your face, the warmth of the grass between your toes as you sit quietly with a flagon of ale and a sandwich, for want of a better thing. A moment of respite from your constant running around the city amongst the hustle and bustle of people. Morgensight is it's quite I think it's an affluent. It's either an affluent area or it's a graveyard. I can't remember which.
So either affluent or effluent.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Let's understand what it is. But it's a calming place, somewhere that you often like to go to. It's the Hill, the most affluent quarter of Ubersreich. The homes of the Ubersreich's wealthy and middle class families form a terrace leading up to the hill to the manor's mansion. You often find yourself that you've been there on a number of occasions, and it is a place to go for calm tranquility away from the general riffraff of the city. A place that you like to go to just forget about everything and spend some time basking in the sun, eating lunch, eating dinner, kind of relaxing in between some of your deliveries.
And that would be about 600 feet, is it?
You are about 600 feet up, yeah. It is peaceful here, though. And although the tree very much is very much petrified, it is still calming to sit beneath the now petrified boughs of the tree and take a moment to yourselves as you contemplate life and the calmness and the tranquility this high up in the tower. How long are you going to stay here for?
Have a quick bite to eat and then keep going, rest our legs and keep going, in my opinion.
Yeah, 20-minute break.
Yeah.
20-minute break.
All right, cool. See you in a bit.
All right.
Check the trees. Is it a statue or was it an actual tree that's been petrified? Would I guess?
It looks, you can see the roots burying into the stone floor. For all you can tell, it was once a real tree. If it was a statue, the attention to detail is phenomenal. Far beats any stonemasons that you've seen.
Okay.
After your not unwelcomed break and your lunch, you continue the journey upwards. You get the sense that you're about halfway, maybe another 4, 5, possibly 600 feet to go.
Okay.
Those of you who are either foolish or brave and kind of look over the edge can see far below you the entrance tower. Climbing upwards, though, another sort of 150 feet puts you on the 5th landing. The base here is carved into 1,000 rings of enveloping flame, all emanating from a central burning rune. A circle made of dark rubies with a westward jutting arrow trailing away in a curl of flames. An overwhelming sense of rage fills you as you cross over here. Which quickly dissipates. One can't help but wonder at the broken dreams and ambitions that the builders of this tower once held. In the middle of the rune's ring stands an open brazier. Soot cakes every inch of it, despite it having stood cold, seemingly forever. Underneath the soot are ruined things, gold melted to slag, precious stones shattered like stressed glass, and more. Wealth that could have been purchased whole duchies of the empire lies worthless beneath the ashes.
So, again, sweep the floor, wander through, check for enemies, shout hello.
Okay. Hey,
And
you stare at the brazier for a moment. Not seeing the brazier, but seeing the warmth of the fire of a tavern oft frequented by yourself and your old teacher, who schooled you in the ways of the board, absently picking away at whatever clothing you have or whatever faded cloth covers the seat that you're sat in, partly listening to the conversation of a somewhat ugly and disfigured man talking to your mentor, asking about a place that he can go for safety. The fire swirls around, kind of lulls you into that warmth, that sense of sleepiness, half listening to the conversation You pick out a few things, but nothing too... Nothing sticks. Until you see a flash of a blade and the disfigured, ugly man slashes across your mentor's throat. Your mentor clutches brings his hand to his throat, clutching as blood spurts out. You watch as two people jump on the disfigured man, clubbing him down into senselessness. And then your vision shifts. Rage, anger at the audacity of this man striking your mentor in his own place of business. And you watch with grim satisfaction as he is torn asunder by effectively strapping him to two willow trees and letting them ping up and ripping him in half.
Ooh.
Very nasty.
Old
Yeah,
school.
you thought witch hunters were bad.
The anger fades as your vision reforms and you're staring at this cold brazier about 700 feet above the ground of this tower.
I shudder involuntarily, like somebody has walked over or reawakened a memory.
The sixth landing. The base is carved into geometrically perfect rings, at first spaced far apart, then growing closer together as it swirls towards a central point. As it thins, the rings become nearly impossible to discern from each other. At the centre of the design rests a golden embossed rune, a circle with an arrow moving from its centre to beyond its edge, pointing to the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
At first glance, everything here is perfect and arranged in a delicate design. On closer inspection, you see small imperfections, scratches, dents, flaws marring the surface. The imperfections once seen are impossible to ignore until you can't find a single ring that remains perfect. Rembrandt. The imperfections before you take you back as a young lad, standing on the jousting fields, watching the knights clash, their armour dented by the lances, the sounds of the horses snorting, the hooves stamping on the soil, the cries of the people in the stalls, I guess, watching. The local lord, his wife or mistress, you don't know, kind of gesturing to each of the winners. It is this moment that steered you and drove into your mind the desire to become a knight. But as you grew to where you are today, you realize that none of the knights that you have been close to have been perfect. None have had that or held that perfect view of what knighthood should be that you hold yourself close and dear to, that drives you to being the best you possibly can. Everyone is flawed. Another 150 feet up, we reach the seventh landing. Above you now, about maybe another sort of 100, 120 feet further up, you can see that the ramp that you're following seems to go up through The only other floor that you've seen in this tower, possibly leading to the very top, but it's hard to tell here. This landing's base is flawless, untouched by any maker's hand. In its centre, not beveled, embossed or engraved, is a symbol at once utterly unassuming and impossible to ignore. A wheel divided into 8 segments with the northmost spoke extending from its edge to become a perfect arrow. As you cross the platform, you notice your shadows are banished from its surface. Feet make no sound over the stone as they walk. As characters begin to leave, darkness instantly washes over the platform, and sounds of every footstep you've made play at once. The charms upon this place are not gone, but they are failing, and for some reason fills you with a sense of sadness and fear. Volquin. Let me make sure I've got your name right. Volquin.
Mr. Kunst.
Mr. Kunsk.
Beg your pardon.
You dirty cunts.
Footsteps. Fast approaching. Panic. You realise you've been caught. Or you will be if you stop.
I don't stop. I keep going.
Your heart pounds. You look to your left and you can see another one. A brother, maybe. A sister. A sibling. A friend. Running. A grin on their face as they keep pace. You round a corner. The footsteps continue chasing. You round the second corner. You run straight into what feels like a solid wall.
No.
As you pick yourself up, you realise it wasn't a solid wall, at least not a wall of stone, but a wall of muscle and flesh. As a grinning man, missing a few teeth, wearing tattered leather armour, smiles at you. He reaches out his hand and says, "Come with me if you want to live."
Hey, okay.
He takes you into a place of darkness. You can smell sweat, stale beer, muskiness on the air. Whispered voices. The man looks at you and smiles and says, "Welcome to the Brotherhood, young one."
Mm.
And you find yourself back on the landing. 7 landings up. God knows how far that is. About 850 feet in the air.
1050 at the moment.
1050.
Wow.
There you go.
1050.
Ahead of you, a single opening in a ceiling, clearly taking you to the roof. Continuing upwards, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The meandering stone ramp. Let me see. Where is the map? Let me pull you to the map, my friends. Give me a sec.
Jet, I was waiting for. Are you John Connor?
Give me a sec. Sorry, taking a little bit longer to do this than I wanted it to. Yeah, okay, that'll do. All right, I'm going to put you on the edge of here. The meandering stone ramp pierces through the ceiling and onto the roof of the Tower of Vane to reveal a crystal dome covering the whole spire. Here and there the dome is open to the elements, and a terrible driving wind whips you as you emerge. The floor here is carved with swirling cloud-like motifs that meet in a rune like a capital A with a circle under it. Bridge, orientated as if to point to the southeast.
Sorry, my wife is talking. Are we at the top?
We are at the top.
Hey, is anyone there?
Hold on. Unlike the other landings, this space is clearly in use, covered everywhere with the artifice of human wizards. Great telescopes, sextants, and other devices whose purposes are too arcane to contemplate. Desks lay arranged behind great screens to block out the driving wind, upon which are weighted writing boards that contain charts of the clouds, stars, phases of the twin moons. Uncountable heavy chests are filled to bursting with tightly wound scrolls, their content unknown. Against one wall is a partially assembled windlass with an enormous counterweight and coil of rope. However, one device draws your attention more than any other. A massive silver-wrought frame adorned with crystal dials, golden suns and snake statues that support 8 massive glass lenses of decreasing size. The largest lens is almost as tall as a halfling, while the smallest is still as big as a dwarf's head. However, the device appears to be unfinished, and a massive slate board to its side is covered over with schematics and puzzling equations. Written in a stark hand underneath this are the words, "Why did it miss fire?"
Okay, is anyone here police? I think we're basically the police, aren't we? And we're here to arrest these people for murdering that dude. So,
No,
I'll find out what happened, yeah.
Yeah.
we're not there to arrest anyone. We're to find out what the link is between this tower and the death over there.
I mean, that's fair, but the link is right in front of us.
The
Well,
words,
just
"Why
in-
did it misfire?" kind of gives the damn big clue.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
read
I'm
that
going
out
to
loud when I see
take
it.
a few pictures, start taking evidence. Oh shit, wrong game.
Yeah, I'll read that out loud. The "Why did it misfire?" So
Yeah. Who can? Well, I can't read, but do you want to like vocalize?
that's why I just said that. I'll read that out loud.
Why did what misfire?
I am
Well, we
guessing
don't know. We're
that.
taking a leap of faith here.
Yeah, I'm pointing out the lens. I'm guessing that. The schematics on the board, do they look like this lens thing? Or is it just formulas?
It's a mixture of formulas and other similar things.
Nothing that looks like the lenses, though. Nothing to
No.
link the two together. Right, okay.
But the
Rembrandt's
board is next to the thing, isn't it?
Is it like when you burn ants? You know, when you're a kid.
Well, like when you get a far-seeing scope, one of those looking glasses, and you point it towards something in the wrong way around.
Well, you might have done that as a kid. I did it with a bit of glass I found on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what.
But where's the sun?
The wizards, maybe they create their
Nothing
own
in the
sun.
dome, or
Yeah, look up, is there anything that opens?
Not that you can tell, no. Parts of the, I mean, there are, as you can see on here, there are individual panes that will open and close. But the roof itself doesn't, and it doesn't seem to rotate either.
Maybe they just put a candle at the end, and it's so powerful it magnifies it.
So is this
I'm
This
just
is-
walk home in the end.
it's that bastard boat woman, isn't it?
So this is aiming
That's why she wanted
towards,
12 candles.
All right, everyone, back down the tower. Let's go get her.
But is this thing broken?
Say again, Dark?
Is this thing broken?
You don't know.
It's aiming in the direction of the tower that the murder was in, though.
Well, give
If
me
we
a
look along it.
give me a navigation test. Challenging navigation.
I was just going to look through the lens.
Just bear with me. Do you want me to assist you with that?
There's the thing. You said
'Cause
there was some sticks and
I've
stuff
walked around
around.
this place quite a lot, so maybe do you want me to assist you?
Well, I've got no points in it, so you might be better doing it.
Okay. It's one of my
I've got
things.
navigation. I've got 31 in navigation.
I have 30.
I'm 47.
Hey,
As I said.
There we go.
go on, boss.
Okay, I think Uber's Reich's over there, and let's have a look. See if we got it right.
Nope.
No, but do you know what I'm going to do?
Fortune that.
I got a fortune now, and a point. No,
There we go.
Ooh, very
It is
good.
exactly there.
I think it's over there. No, wait. It's over there.
While you can't really look through these lenses and really get a sense of anything beyond, so you utilize the large telescope that stood nearby. The telescope is orientated slightly off the same angle. It points directly at the tower, and you can just about make it out through the telescope.
What, the tower in Uber's right?
Yes.
Wow.
The telescope points to it. The device next to you is a few millimeters off, which would be enough for it by the time a beam would reach that far, should be nowhere near Ubersreich.
Right.
Okay.
So, it's
So,
not
so this might have been a coincidental.
An
so it's not
accident.
pointing at where the guy
Unless
was.
they've moved it since.
Or not
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's a misfire. If it's a misfire, then if they're talking about this thing,
Give
Knocked
me,
it, nudged it, angled it. Don't trust them. It's wizards. Burn them.
give me a people give me perception test.
Is that all of us? Or
All
just...
of you as you're looking around.
Okay.
Challenging.
Yeah.
always challenging.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on fire! No, I'm not.
Oh God.
Oh, yes, I am.
Lanwin, Thomas.
I think I've just closed my eyes.
Bolkwin's too busy
I
looking
got
around.
one.
Ella, Rembrandt, it's too high for you. You're terrified.
I made it just.
Wow.
That's an impressive roll.
100.
I got that one out of the way
100.
for everybody.
Welcome to the 100 Club, Puff.
Yeah.
Made it by
So there's
3 points.
clearly a fist-sized object missing from the back of the device that would have been attached to the dials, which explains perhaps why you can't figure out how it works. Several of the dials appear to be newer and added on later. You get the sense that this has been configured and built and constructed more by trial and error than by somebody actually knowing what they're doing.
Trial and error.
Trial
Oh.
and error.
Error, not Ella.
Error.
Fair enough.
Ella.
The other thing that you note is that the device primarily shows the symbol that you saw on the 7th landing.
Oh,
Though
that's
many of the other landing symbols are visible but are much less prominent.
right. That was a
The
weird one,
lenses
wasn't it?
show signs of use, scorch marks, disproportionate to those on the lens casing, suggesting that it's been fired several times and that at times those lenses have been changed since first installation. The other
Right.
thing,
I've just had a thought.
Is there anything else
Ella.
around here? Yeah.
you find something that looks more. Can you read?
Yes, I
Yes, you
can.
can.
You can read. Okay. So you find an interesting treatise or a treatise or thoughts on high magic.
What the hell's a
you know, one-
treatise?
A treatise is like a document that describes somebody's sort of interest.
Right.
And this is what you see.
Oh,
And
can anyone else read?
finally, Elgast. A pause in the wind that's been cutting through the observatory for the last 10-15 minutes that you've been here the wind seems to stop. Help! Help! Anybody there?
Where's that coming from?
Then you hear a banging sound and you realise that one of the chests that you hadn't paid much attention to seems to have this voice coming from inside, along with something banging.
I'll go over to it and see if I can open it.
Okay. There is a latch on the outside, preventing it being opened.
Okay. I'll draw a dagger.
Yep.
And flip the latch.
Okay.
And then open it and see who's inside.
You flick the latch open.
I will cover him with my bow.
And a medium-sized woman kind of pushes her way out. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I thought nobody would ever come. Oh, thank you. Hi, Wizard Sybil Haggadorn. You are?
Elgast Meerman.
Oh, Mr. Meerman. Thank you. Oh, wow. That was a bit rough.
How do you get yourself trapped in the chest? This is your tower, isn't it?
Well, yes. I'd got one of my colleagues over from I say colleagues, he was an inferior, over from the colleges of Altdorf to consult on this, and she kind of points at the device that you're all the rest of you are kind of staring at. It seems that he came under maybe nefarious.
Everybody.
Yeah, frozen.
It's frozen again.
Am I frozen again?
You're back.
Yeah, you came back under nefarious.
Everyone's freezing, not just you.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I got everyone frozen for a sec.
Yes. He must have had nefarious. This colleague of mine must have had nefarious intent, because no sooner had I started consulting with him and talking to him about this device.
Right.
No.
Have I frozen again?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all are.
We've got device.
He took me by surprise, hit me with a sleep spell, and I woke up locked inside that chest.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Let's say, I'm 100%.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
What is it? Intuition or something?
Yeah. Intuition.
Challenging.
Challenging.
Say, I'm re-rolling.
Wow, we are on fire tonight.
I made it. Which for me is amazing.
No.
Intuition test.
She holds out a hand to Elgast.
How do you do that?
Do I think she's telling the truth before
Yeah, you do.
I am
As you can
so
tell,
on fire.
far as you can tell, she is telling the truth.
Yeah, I shall put my dagger away and help her out.
How do you do that test? Sorry.
Just click intuition and challenging.
Skills.
Page
Your
away.
skills tab.
It's a skill we all have.
It's about
Yeah.
25-30% of the way from the bottom.
Scrolls down.
Right. Sorry. Gotcha. Sorry. I'm with you guys.
Yeah, the alphabetical order to help. Nice roll.
There we go.
Very nice.
You got the same as me.
She seems very genuine, and as you help her out, she kind of shakes her head and she sort of says, "That damn machine." A colleague of mine from the College of Light delivered the Luminarch about 3-4 months ago with the intention of developing it further here. This other colleague of mine, this rogue, this Entschlaffen, twisted the device without my realizing it to channel more than just Hish. During a recent test, it misfired and sadly killed a man in Ubersreich. I was able to scry what happened, though the man was obscured to my scrying.
That because he was a cultist of Slanesh.
What was the man's name again? Sorry.
She doesn't know.
Oh,
I don't
She
know.
doesn't know.
We do know.
Madam, the man who was murdered
no, the
was
man
a
who murdered,
cultist.
the wizard who came. Sorry.
Was a cultist, you say?
He was a cultist of Slanesh.
We
So
don't
So
know.
are you
Right,
telling
was
me
it
that he
good?
came
Do we-
here, he brought this tool to you, focused it here, executed this person, and then disappeared?
Well, that would explain the misfiring. Maybe it didn't misfire after
I
all.
don't think he misfired at all. I think he deliberately targeted a cultist of Slanesh. Now, let's be honest, cultists of Slanesh are not the nicest of people in the world.
How the hell would he have targeted someone miles away to know that he was in there at that time?
Tune in next week to find out.
I want
Now,
to know how
I would like to see what happens if we put the warp stone behind the...
The what?
I'd like to know how Thomas knows about Slanesh.
I'd love to know how Thomas knows about Slanesh as well. And why do you have Warpstone?
Because I am Slanesh.
I'm not. I just pick things up. But there's a hole at the back of this thing. In fact, you guys are all distracted, aren't you, chatting to the lady?
Hey,
I don't know. You've just been talking to her, talking about cultists of Slanesh and Warpstone.
good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But we knew it was a cultist of Slanesh, right? The many odd god.
No, we knew he was
I
a
knew.
cultist.
Did you
I-
share?
I recognise Slanesh, but that's about as far as
Did you not share?
I think I have mentioned that.
Okay, that's the information I've got then.
Sudden, sort of like a sudden kind of whoomph sound,
What the hell was that?
followed by a wave of fire and heat. You all turn to see another wizard stood just near the device. The device itself is now giving off smoke and fire.
Where the hell did you come from?
The man grabs the closest lens to him, turns, and jumps out of the window.
Ella, follow him.
Does he shout "Yippee-ki-yay, mother"?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. The next thing you see, as this man goes out of the window, you all kind of, you know, it all goes into that really slow motion, like, what the fuck? You know, behind you, you can hear the wizard going, no, it's going to blow up, going to overload. And then you see in the distance this blip of a figure glide up and then down.
Oh my god!
What do you mean overload?
Wizards.
Go! He's made this unstable. The device itself, the energies that are encapsulated within it are starting to react. They will explode. I can protect myself, but I cannot protect you. Go!
Don't you
Who
have
the hell
spare
was
piece
that?
of glass?
That was Carolus. Entschlaffen. The man that had corrupted this device. He mustn't escape. Go! Quickly!
I'm
Oh,
already running.
he's the guy I'm just reading about in this piece of paper.
Exactly.
Hang on.
Rembrandt screaming,
Did anybody else?
down the stairs.
Hey,
Go,
mate.
go, go.
Wait.
Why
Surely we-
did anybody else get this piece of paper, or did you just send
No,
it to
no,
me?
you read
Just
it.
you.
We haven't given it to anybody because all this has happened almost simultaneously. There's
Yeah.
probably you've got the piece of paper in your hand, you're reading it as Elgast has unlatched the thing, so you're partially aware of what's gone on behind you with this chest. You can hear some talking, you can hear a woman's voice that you've not heard before. You're still reading. Then you hear this whoomph. You look up from the piece of paper, see this wizard stood next to the device. He hits it with a flame ball, grabs a lens, jumps out the window.
Can I attempt to discern / deal with it? Can I do some kind of trap roll to see if I can disable its destruction a bit?
Can't we just
I'm
push it
alright.
out the window?
I'm running.
I'm going to kind of like, given that Thomas looks like he's next to me, I'm going to grab him by the arm and just say, let's get the hell out of here.
I'm just running.
Already, Sybil, you can see is starting to move her arms and mutter things, and you can see energy starting to build and coalesce at her fingertips as she's pointing towards this thing. But she keeps looking frantically between you and the stairs and mouthing, "Go, go, go."
I'm already halfway down the stairs.
I would get
First
behind
one.
her.
Bear in mind, this is 1,000 feet down, and it's a slide.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've got my sketches on.
I was about to say that's how Elgast is halfway down, because he's just like...
Slid. Yeah.
I can't do anything with a trap roll, can I?
You just wouldn't know. This is a magical device. You wouldn't know where to
Is
start.
it attached to the
See,
floor?
again, if it wasn't chained up, I would chuck it out the window. But
Yeah.
Can we
Same.
smash it quickly?
It might
Is Thomas
It
going
might.
to have a look at this thing?
I
Because
mean,
I'm just
I'm
encouraging everyone down the
going.
stairs
Yeah,
and saying,
go on.
Thomas, get the hell out of here. Come on.
Everybody else is leaving you, Thomas, but you can definitely stay and
cut the blue wire.
try and cut the blue wire if you wish.
Yeah.
No, the red, the red.
Okay.
I don't think running away from this thing is the right action at all. I think you're all just going to
It's the
die.
man with the warp stone and a pocket full of bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why
Next
I'm
to an
running
exploding telescope.
down.
Is anyone else not going down?
What,
We
no,
chuck it out the window.
I always like to go down.
Yeah, going
Okay.
down.
That's what your mum said, Maddie.
Hey,
Kay, you going
Who-
down? Ella,
who
you
do you
going
think taught
down?
me?
Wait, if this thing's gonna blow
Fuck
up,
this, I'm going down.
yeah, but this wizard's gonna die as well, then, won't she?
She just
God.
said she can
She
protect
said
herself.
she can protect herself, but she's not able to protect the rest of you.
All right,
And
I'm
she
legging
said
it then.
run.
Yeah. Which is why my hand is against the wall and I'm running as fast as I can down.
And there's a slight meep behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I may have just passed you because I've run faster than all of you.
You
I
are lucky,
don't
lad.
think it's wide enough. You try to pass me, you're going to be taking the express elevator then.
You pushed me off.
Don't
No, I'm just saying
fight
there's no
children.
room.
Don't fight
no room.
children. Orderly
You can
queue,
pass him on
you've
a
all
landing.
done.
I'll pass him on
Yeah.
landing, yes.
Yeah.
Boys, girls, you've all
That's-
done fire drills, okay? Walk in an orderly line. Don't take your belongings with you. Now shoot.
So what are you playing next, Chick?
Hey, you know what? He's brave.
Suicidal comes to mind, carrying
Yeah.
all those bombs.
Do I have all the bombs? Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
you
Yes,
do. And
it
you've
has
got
to
Give me
to
a
get
green
the,
mushroom cloud at the top of this tower.
This tower is going to disappear.
and bless that poor little wizard who thought she could protect herself. No chance.
That's a good point.
Protected myself from all the magic. Oh,
Where's
No, not
Sybil?
that.
Oh, she's there and there and there.
so is Thomas still up there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I decided to. Right, so I'm with the wizard as she spins up her wall of protection. and I'm just going to kind of be like, right, I will disarm this if you cover me. Looks like you can protect yourself. Surely you can protect the two of us.
I'm going to laugh so much if what she's casting is a teleport spell.
Yes,
So this
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking as well.
You know what? Never trust teleporting wizards. Always trust damsels in small boxes. All right, so Bossman, what's happening?
Okay, so the rest of the group start heading down as fast as you possibly can. A mixture of scrabbling, sliding, not quite rolling out of control, but kind of heading down. And you know, the last out, Rembrandt, you kind of look over your shoulder as you see Thomas kind of pulling a dagger out and starting to kind of bend down towards this device, looking as though he's trying to figure out how to disarm it, whilst Sybil continues to cast and build up energy. A few moments later, there is a rock. The tower itself seems to shift. To those of you who, as you reach the bottom, it feels as though the tower has kind of swayed significantly sideways. A vibration and a shake runs through the whole thing. Bits of dust and stone from some of the balconies above you kind of fall down, raining kind of down on the whole of the ground floor. As you kind of come out and you look up, all you see is smoke rising up into the sky from the very point of this tower.
Oops.
In the distance.
Can I see
you
if
see
I
Thomas
catch...
land in
Yeah.
a messy puddle.
Can I see if I can catch Thomas?
I trust
Wily
you, sir.
Coyote, isn't it?
You can see the figure land sort of 100, 150 yards further out onto the glacier. And you can just make something out that is landed near. Some kind of thing.
Some kind of thing.
Keep heading.
How
towards it.
big a thing?
If you were to guess, and it would be about waist to chest height, and maybe the width of a person.
Does it have tentacles? And like Thomas's face, like mutilated on the side of it.
It does not. It's a bit too far. It just looks like a large stone block of some kind.
Altar type thing.
Yes.
The thing, the figure that landed, is this? Do we think this is the guy that jumped out the window?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm still heading towards him. He's obviously
my
the person
bow's
that
out.
we
You
to
would
arrive.
help a
somehow.
lady with an explosion, but you're going to charge a wizard.
No, it wasn't anything to do with the woman told us to get out of there because she could protect herself. So I listened.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you heading towards this figure?
Yes.
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to call it a night at that point.
I thought you were going to do that.
I will discuss with Chick offline what's happened to Thomas.
He's been.
By that, do you mean you sending him create a new character sheet?
He is now turned into a squig.
I think Thomas is currently redecorating the mountains nearby.
I think I just made new friends.
He's going to create a new character called Jackson Pollock.
Put it this way, that's got rid of the grenade, or the bombs, and the warpstone.
Why do you think things went up quite impressively?
Probably don't have to worry about that other wizard, though, right?
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
Because 6 grenades and a pile of warpstone just went off near an exploding Luminarca fish that has malfunctioned.
Yeah, and Sybil will not survive that.
Unless she did teleport away.
Yeah.
If she teleported, she might be okay. Anything else?
Thomas is alive. Thomas is alive. He's got experience.
Well, that only counts towards his next character. What was your doom, Thomas?
That's a good question.
That's a good point.
Skills, talents, doomed.
Do you not blow the tip of the
Half
Thanos?
the total XP of your dead character accrued during play.
Yeah, if your doom comes true or whatever it is.
Yeah.
See, mine's fairly appropriate. To darkness shall a light soul be delivered. It kind of rings a little bit with this.
Oh, I like the title. I
Again-
like the title. Boom, boom, shake the room.
Once again, good old Rembrandt doesn't get XP.
Well, to be fair, he did bugger all.
Yeah. Did he even feed his horse?
Of course.
That's not a horse. That's a horsicle.
That's the point. Has the horse run away after that?
No, it
tower
can't.
shaking
It's frozen.
I took my horse with me.
Up the ramp.
No, bottom of the car.
That's what I said.
Just so you know, I've added 80 XP to everybody, and I've just updated Rembrandt as well.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to spend that on a new hat.
Yeah. Right. That was entertaining.
That was fun.
That was very good. Well played, chick. Well played. You played your character to the end.
We don't know that yet, but probably.
No.
Oh,
Yes. I quite liked him as well.
Right.
Can we go back up and loot his body?
His body.
There isn't really much in the way of up left, I don't think.
Oh, dear. More
Okay, what?
like the maiden luck.
More importantly, Dart's got the letters that proves that it was an accident.
well, we don't know it's an accident, so it's
Do
the
we
other guy
even know
that's
the
done it.
name of the lady wizard we just spoke with?
Sybil.
Yeah, Sybil Halden.
Sybil?
What? Did you guys get the letter as well? Or is
No,
it
no, no. Yeah, well, I saw it, but you read it.
You've actually got the letter, but
Yeah.
we saw it on the screen, but we don't know what's
Oh,
in it until you
I
tell
wasn't
us.
sure I said send it just my character showing it. Or
No, it's fine. But
I-
you just need to tell us at some point, maybe, if you want to. You don't have to.
well, yeah, I will.
I don't want it now.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to Dart. That's my job.
Next week we will push on to the finale of this chapter and start the next one.
I have just finished the first rank of Bounty Hunter.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So now I've got to save experience to be able to level up.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Right, folks, I'm going to head out.
No worries.
Yeah, good game tonight, Zed.
Yeah,
Very
your voice
good
sound-
game.
yeah, your voice sounded fine to say that you couldn't speak.
Yeah, I feel a little better tonight, to be honest, than I have done the last few days. I'm still
Good.
knackered, though.
And the whiskey helps.
Yeah. Cheers, folks.
Thanks,
Right,
guys.
Just, guys,
Take care.
have a good one.
Yeah, see you next week.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. I'll